Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and today we're going to be talking about pulp characters. Specifically, we're going to be talking about how to create your league for playing the Pulp Alley tabletop adventure game. You know, not only can you customize your own league that you play, your own team, your own group of characters when you play Pulp Alley, you can even create your very own characters from the ground up, create them from scratch. And that's really, really cool. A lot of fun. You just don't find that in skirmish games, but you do find it in Pulp Alley. So, before we really get into talking about creating your own characters, I will start by recommending that you do play some of our pre made characters first. That way, you get a sense of how the characters play on the table, how they interact with the rules, and then you'll have a much better idea about creating the characters that you want to have on the table. Does that make sense? Even as far as creating your own league, you could kind of shift things around. You have a character in there that you don't think is really working out. You could pull that character out, put somebody else in there, and continue on really with the same league. So, the rules for creating your own league are right here on page 8 of the second edition core rules. So, here is the page, and it talks about creating your own league roster. Now, it's really pretty clear cut. A Pulp Alley League starts with 10 slots. And then when you go down here to the other description here, it's going to talk about the number of characters that you could use. You can only have one leader in your league. You can have a sidekick, but you could normally not have more than one sidekick. As far as allies and followers, those characters you can have as many as you could fit in there within that 10 slots. Now, let's take a look at this. Remember, you also have the option to include league perks as part of your roster, and that's going to take slots away as well. You can also include associates, and although those aren't characters either, they still require slots on your roster. So you have to be careful about how many of those extra bonuses you pick out, because every time you pick something out, then it's going to cut down on the number of slots you have available for characters. So let's do some examples and show you how it all fits together. So when you're doing your league, I think one of the first things that you're going to want to do is decide on who your leader is. So you can go into your collection of figures and you can decide who you want to be your leader. You could pick out practically any figure you want to use that kind of fits the setting or the story, the theme of the game that you're wanting to do, and that gives life to some of those old miniatures that have been collecting dust, and you could get them into a Pulp Alley game and have a lot of fun with them. So let's say you just happen to have a little group of Afghan tribesmen that you recently got based up and thinking, hey, I sure would like to play with those. And you're thinking to yourself, well, which I want to do a league with this group of characters. Who's going to be the leader in there? So, well, there's a couple of folks that have a little bit different robes, and I think for now we're just going to say that's good enough. So we'll say that's the leader. So remember that your leader does not take any of your 10 slots. Every league normally has to have a leader. And so it doesn't take any slots. It doesn't cost you any points to include a leader because they're what basically give you the 10 slots. They are the character that the entire league is built around. They can never be removed from the league. They are the only truly, truly permanent character in that league. Everyone else can be swapped out for a different character. Now, at this point, it really does not matter what stats I give this character. So I'm not going to go over that right now. It's really irrelevant to building the league. it's enough to say that we have selected a leader. Maybe he is just a close combat monster, right? Maybe he is a wily, scheming planner. Maybe he is a stealthy slayer, an assassin striking from the darkness. He could be just about anything we want to imagine him to be, but for the purposes of creating the League, we don't really care. You know, at this point, it's enough to say that we have the leader. So I do want to include a sidekick as well. So although the leader is free, every single character that you include other than the leader requires a number of slots equal to their level. So a level 3 character requires 3 slots. A level 2 character requires 2 slots. A level 1 character is 1 slot. Easy peasy. You could build that. You have 10 slots to play with. So if I decide that I want a sidekick in there, well, I've just used 3 slots. To get as many characters as I could in there, what if I just put a ton of little characters in there? So that means I could put 7 level 1 characters in there. So that right there could be a league. The leader is free, the sidekick is 3, and then I have 7 level 1 characters. That's the basis of building your league. Now, if I included a perk such as altar, like maybe they have a sacred altar that's part of their base, or keen senses, that only requires 1 slot, and that means that I would have to give up one of those level 1 characters for that. Now, level 1 characters aren't really very good, so what if we said instead of doing a bunch of level 1 characters, we did some level 2 characters instead? So if we went with, as many level 2 characters as we could fit in there, so we'd have our 3-point sidekick, we'd have 2, 4, and there's 2 more, so 6 points worth of allies, plus 3, that's 9. And then we could say, maybe this bald-headed fella is a follower, so I could kind of distinguish him out of there. And now we have a 6-character league. Look at that. So the way you decide to use your slots is going to decide how many characters you have out there. Perks can also play a big part of it. For example, you could have a league as small as 2 characters. We really don't recommend doing less than 2 characters. Let's say we decided not to do the sidekick at all, and we just simply took 10 level 1 characters. Can you do that? Sure, you could do that. You could do that as well. So look at that. That is a big whopping 11 character league. And for all intents and purposes, it would be evenly matched against a league that was made up of, if this was a duo league, you could put those 2 leagues out there and battle against each other. Pulp Alley was play tested for over 3 years. You could try all kinds of crazy stuff and have lots and lots of fun. So real quickly, just to summarize, you have 10 slots to make your league. Your league can include characters, perks, and associates. Your leader is free. The other characters cost a number of slots equal to their level. Now, in between scenarios, you're going to gain resources that you could use to kind of beef up your league and get better, possibly even getting some experience to use in future scenarios or assets for future scenarios and things like that. And then you can also reorganize your league and take characters out and put different characters in and kind of fine tune your league to change it up and customize it and try out different ideas and also keep your opponent guessing. I don't know. Oh, make sure you get subscribed to our little channel, hit the like button and the bell, and we're going to see you very soon. Bye, everybody.